Sweet. Welcome, watchers, to yet another streamed game of Australian Mixed Nationals 2016 in beautiful sunny Sydney. The weather is fined up for this game against VLS from Sydney and Eyesock from South Australia. With me today in the commentary booth, I'm Max Halden. We've also got Ken Shepherd. Hi, Ken.
G'day, Max. Good to be here. Sun, very happy to see the sun out. Should be a great game here.
Yes, and we're also joined by Hannah Monty. She's the development officer for New South Wales Ultimate. Hi, Hannah.
Hey, guys.
Sweet. And we're going to have a rolling commentary team throughout this one. This is going to be full coverage here from the Ultimate Australia stream. We'll also be joined by Elsa momentarily, who was the manager of the Blue Bottles team, which I co-coached back in 2015, and is an Adelaide local playing for Crew, so she'll be able to help us out with a little bit of Eyesock, the story behind Eyesock as we go through this game.
Do you know much about the VLS team, Max?
I can tell you a little bit about VLS. So they played regionals in 2015. That was their first outing together as a team. But to this tournament, they are they're probably the most voluminous team. They have the most number of players. It's quite comprehensive. They have 3 teams, 2 in Div 2, and the one that you're watching today in Div 1. So 60 players all up, which is quite impressive. For men, it'll be the first offensive call. And we're also joined in the commentary box by Elsa, as promised.
Hi, great to be here. How's it going?
Good, you haven't missed much. Now it's VLS starting with the disc, so they'll be on defense first. Eyesock running from right to left of your screen.
And what about the form of the teams? Is this the last of the first pool games?
Yes, Eyesock would be the favourites going into this game. They've won all their games in this pool except for against Frisky, which is the team that I play on. So if they win this one, this will guarantee them a spot in the quarterfinals. But even without the win, they're probably in a dominant position in the pool.
And I believe they'll be going second into the quarters. If they win this game, that is.
Yes, exactly. All right, 0-all. Game to 15. Fraser with the pull, and Mr. McDonald.
And we've got David Sanderson catching the pull, throwing it to Joel Pillar in the centre. Crossing the field to Sarah Pillar. Sarah Middleton, I should say. Oh, and a great grab from Ellie Wheatcroft down the sideline. Oh, and a miss throw from Ellie there.
And that leaves Lambert open in the middle of the field, who centres it to Coffee. Oh, Fraser slips and just unfortunately can't reach his fingers out there.
Joel Pillar picking it up. And a big hug to Rob Whiten in the end zone. Oh.
Excellent read there.
Classic Rob Whiten.
Yeah, beautiful. And Coffee won't be too happy about that one, but that's going to be something I'm sure we see a few more times this game as it rolls on. And Eyesock draw first blood, 1-0.
Joel has a lot of favourites on this team to huck it to.
And as you watch the replay there, Coffee gets himself into a nice position, but just bodies in front the Eyesock player, and beautiful grab there to guarantee it. So not a clean first offensive point. VLS managed to generate a turn, but the slipping of the ground is a bit slippery today. We had quite a significant amount of rain overnight. There's been a lot of games cancelled here today and moved around. We've managed to find some usable fields and usable spaces around previously scheduled fields, but it's made for a bit of a truncated draw. And it's also made for a bit of slippery dirt. Seen plenty of people slipping and sliding, especially when trying to make hard change of direction cuts.
Yeah, I played on this field in the previous game, and it was pretty good grass, very soft, and once they get up and running, you should see some big plays, layouts. So hopefully not too many more slips.
The pull goes out of bounds there. Signals. There's a signal for a brick. Although I will remind everyone that it's just one hand over the head and then saying brick rather than clapping. Hashtag stop the clap. Burns walking it up to the line. This is a zone look from Eyesock straight off the bat, trying to stop those big hucks from VLS. Moves it across to Boudib. Boudib holds it. Nice little break pass there to O'Sullivan. And O'Sullivan runs quickly for the give-go, gets it, fakes it up the line, hits the overhead, which he's going to do plenty of times today. Finney manages to just get it in and centers it back to Boudib. Boudib beautifully moves it, and Josh, instead of moving the field, a few fakes here, bobbles it, but manages to get it off. Boudib looking calm and control with the disc, but unfortunately, she does the sad clap of failure as the disc hits the ground.
Now we have Vu walking to the disc. And big Middleton cutting. Oh, bit of a sketchy dump back to Vu, who manages to pull it down.
Wild kicks from VLS on the mark.
And back to Davis, who looking for the cheeky pass into the end zone. Can he? Oh, and he pulls it in.
There's a little bit of a discussion. Ashley seems happy with it. Discussion is continuing. And the game advisors signal that the players on the field have determined it as a goal. So a break. Controversial pass there. Very close to the line, but looks like he kept most of his body at least up in the field before he managed to secure it.
Just a reminder, we're playing with the black lines as the boundaries on this field. The white ones are the rugby field lines. Nice play by Hoi Vu to reel that one in.
Now, not pictured on your screens at the moment is a very rowdy cheer squad from Adelaide supporting the boys and girls in black today. Crew is one of the other Adelaide teams, the ones that you play on, Elsa. Would you like to talk us about what's happening on the sideline?
Absolutely. So Eyesock and Crew have got a very good relationship. We've had a lot of scrimmages and barbecues in the lead up to this, so we've got a very good relationship with them. But they are kind of like our older brother that we love to tease. So I think there'll be a lot of heckling in this game, also a lot of cheering, a lot of support.
There you go. It probably works both ways. Just the wall of noise sometimes helps you out more than anything. And O'Sullivan catching the pull, swinging it to Murray. Beautiful gainer there, and they've got C streaking deep. Mark is very happy to hit that. C puts on the burners and just can't reel it in, unfortunately. Really wonderful cut in tons of space, and not too bad a shapely pass from Wee there, but unfortunately Alice just couldn't close her hands around it. So Eyesock get an opportunity to potentially get a second break of the game so far.
So we've got Davis starting with the disc. A quick pass across to Middleton. And back to T in the middle. Back to Middleton, who's looking long. And it's gone to Benji, who pulls it in nicely. And straight to Schrader in the end zone.
And the semi-shirtless crowd goes wild.
Benji's one of our up-and-coming star players from South Australia. He's an old footy player. You can tell by the way he loves to mark the disc.
Yeah, few footy players out there today. VLS has a few of the guys from Townsville who play it more maybe in AFL style, which is probably the one you're describing, Elsa. VLS signalling that they will be playing 4 ladies on offense. So if you've been watching a few of the games, you may have noticed this already, but we're also playing some different gender split rules than have previously been played in Australian tournaments. One of the end zones is nominated as end zone A. In this case, this is the one on the right of your screen, the one that VLS is currently standing in. They get to determine the gender ratio in the first half, and then the other end zone then becomes the one that will determine it in the second half. So it's a right at the moment, but in the second half it will be the left. So VLS, as they're standing in end zone A, have selected 4 women, and the other team have to match.
The vibe I've been getting from this tournament is that people find this a really positive thing. I think that teams have been enjoying getting more women on the field, and it's definitely, I've seen a lot more 4-girl points than I would have previously.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's really been making you think about it, and it just removes the default setting of 4 men, I think, more often than not, which is a really powerful change. Boudib picks the disc up and sends it to Burns. Burns moves it around. Oh, an outstretched hand.
Great bid from Benji.
Very tight here. Serrano goes deep, but there's a nice little up-the-line movement. There's a few open players in the field, but looks straight back. Boudib, beautiful cut there. Catching the spike backwards. She's hyped up. Gets high fives from everybody, and that's VLS's first point to get him on the board for 3-1.
Yeah, that was good play by VLS there. I think Eyesock had some good D around the disc, but with some great long cuts, they got some separation downfield and well put, well delivered backhand down the line to score.
Yes, VLS probably look their best when they've got the confidence for their handlers to streak deep in that space and trust that there's a fill coming from other places. They've got a lot of kind of versatile handler type movement. So they're really happy when they can send someone like Mel Boudib, who was the person who received the pull, can send her deep into the space and potentially get a bit of space on the up line. Beautiful pass there. Mel's just a few meters in front of her defender, perfectly weighted. And a nice little spike backwards there.
So we've got Eyesock catching the pull in the end zone, throwing it to Pillar, who's looking upfield. No hacking options for him. And over to Djukovac. Just looking to dump it to Pillar. And there's a pick call.
Pillar definitely calling his shots with literally by pointing towards where he wants his players to cut. There's a nice little bit of break space, and he's a little bit taller than McDonald, who's on the mark, so he's probably hoping to hit that break, but we'll see if his players obey him.
And back to Warren White, who gives it straight back to Pillar, and he wants that deep shot. Girls are coming under now. And there's Whiten running long. Looks good. Lovely.
And yeah, said that might happen more than once today, and there we go. 2 from 4.
I can imagine we'll see a lot of goals from Whiten today.
Yes. Nice little cut there, and just burns the poach from Wee, who was trying to get a block underneath. Tons of space, perfectly weighted. Easy one.
Yeah, it's a bit tough to mark up on Joel Pillar. People upfield have to keep their eyes open for any sort of throw, so yeah, you mark under and shut the ins, but he's also got very reliable long throws, and that's a big threat for their team.
Certainly very nice to have him back in SA.
Yes, Pillar playing for a year, 2 years in New South Wales. Yeah, 2 years in New South Wales with Colony on the opens, and a few different teams for them in the mixed division. But that's the nature of the mixed division at this stage. Still, teams still just building club atmospheres at the moment. But there's a few exciting new teams coming. I mean, Eyesock, this is their second year back-to-back, which is exciting. VLS has got 3 teams here. Crew, for example, you guys are building a really strong club aesthetic, and it's exciting to see the mixed division kind of developing a bit in that way. fun fact for those listening at home, this is Frisky's 7th Mixed Nationals and our 10-year anniversary.
That is very impressive.
Thank you.
Are you the longest running mixed club in Australia?
I would like to say, but I mean, it's going to be hard. Pie Wagon has been around for a long time from Newcastle, but we're certainly the longest running pink and blue team in Australia. Booted with it on the sideline. Again, exudes calm confidence as she swings it across to Lambert. To Silva on the sideline, nice little shape across. See Serrano. Centers it back. They're making the transition to man. Boudib remains unmarked and sees an absolute schling.
Middleton with a flying leap, doesn't quite get there.
Yes, exciting athleticism and a total flail of all body parts towards the disc, but it's not quite enough. And it was a nice spot from Boudib in the end. Found the poach. It's a nice little long pass and does what on Frisky we call the Max Halden, which is throwing it just 2 meters directly outside of the end zone and forcing us to throw another pass. And easy as you like to Serrano. So VLS respond 4-2. Now still early days in this game, but VLS is going to need to start forcing a few more turns from Eyesock and converting them if they want to start getting out of this hole.
So that last point illustrated the concept of baiting. I'm not sure if Brett Middleton was aware of how deep that person was, but sometimes if a quick player is playing deep in a zone or in the backfield, they might give that deep offensive player a lot of room, and that puts a thought in the thrower's mind: can I throw that far? And it sort of baits that option. So if you're quick and you're a big defender, like Brett in that instance, it sort of makes the play exciting, and you're going to get a big result for either team, either option.
And leads to spectacular layouts like the one we just saw as well, as you try to make up that ground. Joel taking a moment to give his players some extra advice just before this offense starts, and VLS.
And we've got Sanderson catching this pull. Oh, he decides to leave it. And that is a great pull right at the back of the end zone. Oh, and it just slides out. And we've got Whiten cutting under. Dishy to Middleton. Just looking long. And it's going up to Whiten. Oh.
Jeez, jumped a little early it looked, but he had the height for it. Just the wind probably pushed a little bit over his head, and it was a challenging pass to start with. So knew he had to go a little bit earlier with the slightly taller Winchester marking him. The McDonald-Pillar matchup. I'm sure we'll see this a little bit today. Coffey initiates a cut from the stack. Nice little mark there. Plenty of physicality. Both bows are up for it. And this is an absolute hospital pass. There'll be 10 players underneath this one.
That's a mess.
But Eyesock managed to get through and get the D.
We've got Sanderson with the disc again. He's looking for an option. Oh, it's a great bid, but Pillar manages to pull it in.
And just looked like we got a bit of injury off that. And going to get to watch the replay here while McDonald is looked after. Oh, nice. He probably even managed to make contact with that, but Joel managed to secure it in his hands. But
that was a really excellent bid. It looked like he made no contact with Pillar whatsoever.
Yeah, and Pillar just managed to use his slightly larger frame to body him out. But McDonald is standing up. He's a bit woozy. He's kissed his girlfriend though, so that's always a good sign.
Kiss it better. Works a charm.
Oh, putting Big de Hollander now on him, changing a pace a little bit from the small quick one to the big guy.
And we've got Sanderson up the line. Looking back to Pillar. Oh, it goes across the field to Dowling. With Pillar in the centre. Break to Sanderson. And there's some kind of call. It's a pick call. Sneaky over the top to Pillar. Oh, it's a high one. And he manages to pull it down. Oh, difficult hammer across to Dowling.
De Hollander maybe just put enough pressure on there to generate the block. Potentially a fortuitous injury call then in that instance, in that the big man's managed to get a turn up high rather than Fraser going for speed, so or McDonald going for speed. So a little silver lining to the clouds that are hanging over Sydney at the moment.
That was beautiful, Max. Beautiful.
Thank you. I've been working all week. Little bit of trouble in the dump space now. A lot of jinking. Oh, he felt like there might be an opportunity for a Callahan there, but Winchester reels it in. De Hollander tries to kick it into his own hands. Pillar picks it up straight away.
Pillar to Whiten. Classic connection there.
Yeah, and that's 3 from 5 for their goals, but yeah, a lot of pressure there. The VLS had to work very hard to get the block, and then just struggled to get into the rhythm of an offensive point.
Whiten there, a fantastic dump defender.
Can you guys tell us a bit more about some of the players, maybe up and coming or really young players on either team?
Yeah, so on Eyesock we've got a couple of rookies on the team. So one to mention is Ben Johnston, who I mentioned before, that footy player. He's been a talent for South Australia. I think he was a big part of helping SA win the men's regionals recently. He's got a lot of hops, a lot of speed. He's a big lanky guy, as you've probably seen already. He's very big talent coming out of SA. And
plenty to talk about, but Paul will be centred to Ashley, who catches it, goes to Budib, who sends it right back. Nice big fakes there from O'Sullivan to open up the space in the cup. Little hammer over the top. He's happy to do a few of those, and Matt Finn will be happy to catch them. And they'll pretty much be happy to throw over the top to each other all day if that's what they're allowed to do. And it seems that they are. Nice movement upfield there. C sees it, and they haven't really been able to stop them at the moment. The Eyesock defense now managed to contain them just outside the end zone. Budib with a quick swing, and cheeky little pass there from Lambert, tries to get across, but doesn't quite make it over the top of the defender.
And Rogers with a disc, she puts it up to Davis. It's a great throw, lots of space. Centres to Middleton, back to Davis again. It's looking long, no options there, back to the middle to Rogers. Across to T. I think there's a pick call.
Middleton there with a veteran catching of the pick to make sure that it's not a turnover.
Disc is still with T, and now to Davis. Oh, it's a great D there. Unfortunate.
And VLS now has 2 players streaming deep, which means they should have a decent amount of space under. They've got 2 girls chasing Eyesock at the moment. They've got just a kind of poachy set that's hoping to slow them down a little bit. But VLS continues to march up the field. Lambert centers to O'Sullivan, looks to his boy and hits it again. Budib strikes towards the end zone. Nice big open pass there for Burns, and Burns sees Budib for a goal.
So that looked to me like a 3-3-1 zone on defense, played by Eyesock, and it sort of requires a lot of looking around in the first line of 3 near the disc, and then very active movement and vision in the second 3 to look in every direction to work out where the offensive players are, and then a very chatty person in the deep position who can talk to the rest of the field in front of them. So VLS did really well in that point to get it over that zone, over those walls, people in front of them, and once you do that, and if there's not much wind, then you can move it upfield if you're confident in playing well.
Very true. Now, taking a look at the line that VLS has put on at the moment. My no eyes are kind of failing me a little bit here, but McDonald, who has the disc, who you saw go off for an injury earlier, or that spectacular bid on Pillar, he's from Scotland. Will be playing for the New South Wales under-22s team. He's been here for 6 months. He's going out with an Australian girl, so maybe may end up here in the future, but is due to go back to Scotland for the under-24 tryouts at the end of this year. So best of luck to him as VLS pull it downfield to Eyesock, and it just sails with the wind out the grandstand sideline.
Eyesock have got a nice side stack set up here with Joel Pillar bringing the disc in from the brick mark. We've got an immediate cut long as Warren White. And great throw from Pillar. The old one cut offense.
Yeah.
So I think it's very tricky in that instance with Joel with the disc and some static defenders. We look at the replay again. He can see the field in front of him, and if offense is organised, they can send only one person deep without a poach. And yeah, so one option on defense is to maybe set up a return or a different sort of force rather than a simple one way that might be able to stop Joel's threat deep.
Yes, and we've seen a lot of effective zone type looks or poachy type looks just to stop that pull play. Yeah, as you say, when Joel can see the whole field, then you can get into a little bit of trouble. So creating a little bit of confusion upfield, clogging the spaces, making it a little bit more unclear can maybe just unseat your opponent a little bit, and Eyesock would definitely will be very comfortable if they can just hit those deep shots all day. On the VLS line that you'll be able to see once the pull goes up, Mark Wee, certainly an up-and-coming. He plays for bench in the club season, but will also be playing for the under-22s. Mick De Silva is a one-year rookie, and Kirsty Murray, who now has a disc in the centre of the field, is also on the under-22s team and is a real developing talent. She's got really beautiful break throws, which hopefully we'll get to see used in this game. De Silva on the sideline and is helped out by Wee, who comes and collects the scraps. Wee sees an upfield pass, but just a little bit of pressure on the mark there causes a turnover.
And Vu picks up the disc and a quick pass to Davis, who sends it over to Rogers. She's looking upfield, and there's Colbert, the lovely undercut, back to Rogers. Tight defense there, but Davis brings it in, and back to Rogers in the centre. Quick movement here by Eyesock, back to Davis, back to Rogers. They're calling for their end zone play. Back to Davis. And to Vu on the sideline. Davis, lovely backhand to Schrader, who reels it in.
Yeah, really beautiful. The Wee and O'Sullivan there tried to just enact a switch on the 1-2 handler space, which just didn't quite. O'Sullivan didn't quite pick up on it quick enough, which allowed for a nice little break pass there from Eyesock. It's a good idea from VLS, especially because they love this handler movement, Eyesock, but just wasn't quite recognised quick enough and opened up a nice little gap on the break side.
It's going to be a bit harder for VLS on the sideline now. They've lost their Div 2 team in support, who've had to go back over to their game, but Crew's still here supporting Eyesock very loudly with very few shirts on, which is helping them on the sideline a lot.
Almost exactly as you said that, Hannah. Of course, they've all put their shirts back on because the sun's gone away. The sun's gone away, so sun's out, guns out earlier on, but not anymore. As soon as I said that, they all took their shirts off again, so it's pretty hard.
That's the way it is at Crew. Shirts on, shirts off, anything goes. clothes are often discouraged at our club.
I like that a lot.
We had a very funny situation in an earlier game where a team told us to step in for MVP votes, and they said pants down, and we did it. Much to their surprise.
Yes, I was going to say, I'm sure that's not exactly what they were expecting. Alrighty. Eyesock with a rolling pull, which manages to find, and it's maybe even going to roll and stay in. So that is an A-grade pull there, and it's going to leave VLS with a very, very long field. A lot of pressure on here, and the stall 9 hammer is what comes out of it. Oh, Finney really does a good job, but Brett Middleton's in the right point.
Davis moving the disc over to T. Oh,
wow. And a point block from Burns there, and gets the disc back. So that's been a favourable outcome there for VLS. They've managed to get a block in the roughly in line with the space that they managed to hammer it to. So, and O'Sullivan struts over towards the disc. De Hollander from Townsville making his first cut. And Finney will come to help him out. And Burns is going to want the bookends on this one. De Hollander lays out. Oh, but just unfortunately, maybe pretty close to the line there, but also lost it on the landing. Yeah, as we watch on replay, just couldn't quite grab it in anyway, so let it slip out of the hands.
All right, we've got Davis with the disc, moving it to Schrader. Got a long cut option, but it's not going up. Back to T in the middle. And there's Johnston with an impressive yet odd grab. Big floaty throw up to Rogers, and it's Steve.
Yeah, really nice positioning there from Budib. Got to the right spot that she wanted, and then got a little bit more time to get a bit more vertical. O'Sullivan with the disc again. Nice little upline cut from Budib, and a cheeky little over-the-top pass there. Burns shoots it to Lambert, and there's a call. Game advisor signal that there was a pick called on the field.
I'm enjoying Game Advisor Ash's one-armed pick calls. They're very entertaining.
Yeah, we call him the pirate line advisor. Oh, Boothead manages to snatch that out of the hands of a laying out Rogers. Nice from De Hollander. He's got a big pivot, but he got a big man on him. Lovely little throw there. And Budib sees the full field and hits that space beautifully. Nice little shot.
Lovely throw.
So good. And Burns with the point block on the earlier in the point manages to finish the point. Puts VLS within 3, 7-4. Nice little throw. Just saw that space, and nothing the defender could do about it. And we've got a timeout called, so get a little bit of a breather here. And we're just reliving the great moments of pulling history. It is an undervalued skill, the pull, and although I'm sure this wasn't exactly what the puller was intending for to happen with the disc here, this beautiful roller that just manages to stay in bounds. I mean, you're not going to get much better than that in any pull situation where you force the offense to pick the disc up at the back of their own end zone. Interesting fact that I've found this weekend. So game advisors, so we're still working our way through them as players, I think, getting used to them, you know, how they interact with the game and how they're involved. And, you know, Ruben is doing a great job here as a game advisor. One of the things I've noticed is their presence, and this is something that Ruben will tell you, their presence really helps create a fairer or a better spirited game, because it just makes you aware of what you're doing. One thing that they make you very aware of is offsides, which is something that we all probably do a little bit when we don't have game advisors, but with game advisors it makes you really aware of staying onside. A really common thing though that you'll see is that because you'll go offside and maybe the game advisors will warn you, someone with the disc who's pulling will say, all right, guys, we have to stay on side. And then I think about 85% of the time that happens, they then pull the disc straight out of the field because they can't possibly think about staying in the field and pulling at the same time. And I've seen that at least 4 times today. So it'll be interesting to see the impact that this game has, that the game advisors have on pulls staying in general. VLS playing a lot of 4 women this when they're given the opportunity, especially on. Well, actually, they've been playing it on offense and defense. They've been happy to have 4 girls out there, which is nice. Looking at the VLS line, you've got Alice C there on the far right. She's also on the under-22s team, going out with Mr. McDonald, and Annie Longley taking her place on the far side. Annie's been playing for a few years now. She's an American native, but is over here studying law. And Winchester with the disc. Brycey, he's been playing for a few years now, but is really coming into his own as a player.
So we've got Sanderson picking up the disc, moving it to Pillar. No long options for Pillar yet. I'm sure he's disappointed. And to Bell in the middle, moving it to Middleton. Back to Pillar in the middle, and there's some call. And it's a foul call, game advisors are telling us. Straight back to Pillar in the middle, and he's looking long to Bell, and she pulls it in. Bell, one of the fastest girls on the Eyesock team, if not in the country. Played for the Mundies just recently at the last Worlds. An excellent competitor from SA. Originally from Canada, but she's been living in Adelaide now for many years, I think about 7 years, and now she calls it home.
There's a nice little opening set from VLS to, as we said, try and stop the momentum of those very first movements. But then once everyone was set, still left quite a lot of space, and Pillar was more than happy to take it. So that takes us to half time, 8-4 to Eyesock. Here they are.
The cheer squad.
You're on camera. You can give you a sense of the sideline support that Eyesock have here from crew. It may not seem like a lot to those watching at home, but in the silence of the open field of out in St Mary's, it can definitely make an impact. You can definitely hear it in the background, and I'm sure it's giving Eyesock a little bit of a boost as they hit the field.
Quite a few of these Eyesock players have played with crew before, so we have a soft spot for a couple of them. In particular, Ben Johnson, and it's actually his name written on their chests, so a lot of love there.
And what's your take on the first half, Hannah? How have you seen it play?
There's definitely a lot more movement coming from Eyesock. VLS are doing well to stay in it though, never giving up.
Yes, it's interesting that VLS have been sticking with fairly similar matchups on certain players. I mean, certainly Pillar is obviously an impact player, and to some extent it's been working, but I mean, as you've seen, they've got quite a few easy ones, so maybe it might be time for VLS to consider how they can start shutting down those players by changing the matchups or by forcing a few more movements through various defenses. You know, when you're 8-4 down, you don't want to end the game and be thinking, oh, what could we have done earlier? So, yes. I need to go and play a game of Ultimate Frisbee now, so I will leave you in the capable hands of all the other commentators.
Thanks very much, Max. It's been a pleasure.
Off to business, Max. Good luck. Go well. Thanks again to Max Halden. He's a bit of a pro, got some experience in the commentary box at big tournaments. VLS getting charged up to come out big at the start of this second half.
They're definitely going to need to pull something out to get this back from this situation, but I'm excited to see what they can do.
VLS is definitely one of those teams that relies on their positive attitude. They have the huge cheers and their team really gets behind themselves, and it definitely works when they're on a roll.
So with the Eyesock team, there's a really interesting mix of old experienced players and then some young up-and-comers. So I think it's a really interesting dynamic to work out all those positions and work out how to play together. It seems to be working well for them though.
And you can see in the Eyesock team now, Joel in the second smaller huddle, and maybe the leadership of their team talking some serious tactics, and the rest of the team trying to keep things positive, and again come out big in the second half.
This seems to be a very, very common tactic with a lot of teams, have their leadership sort everything out and then let the others chill out. It's definitely been working for my team this weekend.
So you might be able to see when we pan out a bit, the trees in the distance, there's not much movement in the trees or flags around, so it's pretty light wind and a bit overcast, but conditions are pretty good. Probably 22, 23 degrees, so really good conditions for high quality frisbee. Lots of instruction in the Eyesock huddle.
Seems like they're really trying to perfect their tactics during this game.
Yeah, I think they probably have their sights set on going deep into the tournament. We've got maybe quarterfinals set up next, and they're probably well positioned for that. And if they continue to play well and get all the basics right, I think they've got a team to go well in the tournament.
Eyesock calling 4 boys.
And well, Eyesock participating in the Southern Regionals, Elsa?
Yes, they were. So they were. And then we had a number of other teams coming along to support, make it a really big tournament, which was fantastic. I think it was our biggest Southern Regionals ever for mixed, which is great.
And where was that played?
That was in Adelaide, yeah. So yeah, unlike nationals, gender separate nationals, we've just got one Adelaide tournament for regionals and a Victorian tournament as well. So we're not together like we are for nationals.
Okay. Looks like Hoi Vu with the pull to start the second half.
So we had Ash to Mel to Ash. Moving up the field. Back to Budib. To Murray. Cut up the line, ignored. Swinging across the field. Oh, great grab by Priscilla there. Looks for the end zone, and we have a draw. Great bid by Mel Budib.
There's great movement on offense there by the girls from VLS.
It's a great undercut by Schrader there on the sideline. And he's back to Vu in the centre, looking for Rogers as the swing. We've got Colbert running under, but Rogers sends it long to Johnston. Can he get it? It's a lovely grab. And, oh, nice little dishy there to Foley, who unfortunately drops it.
A nice put. Just a bit too far. With a few turns in these sort of points, everyone on the field starts fatiguing a bit. So you've got to dig deep and keep offense clean to pull through and get the score. Especially when playing person-on-person defense.
Another undercut from Schrader. It's looking long, but opts for Vu in the middle to Middleton. To Johnston. Back to Middleton. Gets it to Vu. And back to the centre to Middleton. Nice little dishy over the top to Vu. Got some cuts in the end zone, but middle to Schrader. Calling for their end zone play now. Vu in the centre. That's quite a deep stack in the end zone there to Middleton. Back to Vu in the centre. They're being very patient here. Middleton down the line. Looking for that break. Not on. Back to Vu in the centre. Lots of handler movement here. Middleton. Oh.
Amazing.
And he doesn't manage to grab it. And there's an injury call from Vu.
There was some great perseverance there by the Eyesock offensive handlers to keep resetting the play.
And great defense there from Matt Finn to get that block.
Mikhail De Silva there with a great cut deep. Unfortunately, he couldn't hang on to it.
Pillar with the disc, moves it to Schrader. Eyesock with another opportunity here. To Middleton on the sideline, he looks long. Back to Pillar. Swing to Rogers. There's a long option there, she's going to send it. It's Johnston. Bit of body there. Oh, he just jumps a little early. Great backup from Colbert, but unfortunately can't quite make it. Seems to be a call, maybe? And there is a call from Rogers.
Foul.
And it's a foul.
Contested.
Bit of chatter here, might be contested. Budib.
No, I came through and I definitely think it affected my throw. Because I felt like the contact on my hand, which made it go up higher because I'd hit your arm.
Game advisor Ruben
What's the score
listening
count?
I don't know.
About 5.
Okay.
5?
4. Spelling coming in, spelling.
I threw it as soon as I got it.
It appears Mel thinks that that
I
was
don't-
incident.
couldn't tell you
contact.
from here.
Okay, so cool. Because I started around at
Contact
the free
occurring.
range.
So is it contested or uncontested?
Yeah. Okay, I think it's contested.
It's contested? Yep.
Yeah.
So coming in on 4?
Still low.
Okay.
Okay.
Score's coming up 4.
So it's contested foul call, just coming in on 4. Dumps to Pillar. And up to Middleton. Dishy to Pillar. He's looking long. No. And to Colbert across the field. And there's a pick call. Eyesock players recognising their stack is a little bit deep. Let's see if they can adjust.
There's a bit of wind and a few drops of rain coming down now, so we'll see if that affects the play.
Just some discussion there about whether the pick actually affected that throw across the field. An interesting choice here. The VLS player seems to think that she shouldn't catch up, but the Eyesock player is trying to encourage her that she should. I think she's happy where she is. So we've got Colbert with the disc, looking to dump it to Pillar. And he's looking long to Schrader. Can he get it? Yes, he does. Right outside the end zone, calling for their end zone play. Dumps it to Rogers. She's looking for that break. She's looking for it. Goes up to Johnston, and he just keeps it in.
That was great hustle by VLS there on defense to slow down the play of Eyesock in front of the end zone. And the throw there sat up a bit, but they managed to reel it in on the line.
Wind seems to be picking up slightly, which just seems to be affecting their throws a bit now. Lots of floaty ones going up.
Here we see the replay. The throw from Joel goes straight to his receiver. And here's the break throw. Good weight on it, but it was tipped. But not quite enough.
The call is 4 girls here. So on the Eyesock line, we've got Davis with the disc. We've also got the other guys are Greg Schrader, an excellent deep receiver, and Dowling, who's a fantastic cutter. Very experienced player, Dowling, been playing for a long time in Adelaide and both in Perth as well. We've also got T on the far left, number 23, who's a very experienced handler, and Alex Rogers, who's played for Australia a number of times. And we've got the up-and-comers, Alana Colbert and Rosie Foley.
Pick called in the stack in the middle of the field there.
O'Sullivan with the disc to Wee. Throw up the line to O'Sullivan. Crossfield all the way over to C. He's looking upfield to Finn. Very close to the end zone now. Strong mark from her. And it goes in.
Bit of confusion there in the force with Eyesock, I think. There was a lot of yelling in that point.
I believe it was meant to be a backhand force.
Yeah, just that sneaky cut there, getting open side. Lovely, lovely goal.
Remembering that our gender end zone is now to the left of your screen. Eyesock choosing to go 4 men, 3 women. Mark Wee with the disc.
So VLS really need to find something now to get back into this game if they want any chance of coming back. We've got Middleton catching the pull, sends it to Pillar. Nice undercut from Warren White. Over the top to Whiten. Centres it to Pillar. He's looking long, no options for him. And he's sending it now to Whiten in the end zone. It's a lovely grab. Oh, and there's a pick called. It's going back. Bit of discussion in the stack. You can see that replay. It's a lovely throw. And well caught by Whiten.
A little bit of contact after the grab, but nothing was stopping those hands.
You all good?
Got Pillar with a quick break over to Warren White. It's a bit floaty, manages to keep it in. Back to Pillar in the middle. To Sanderson, nice undercut. Looking for Whiten on the break side. Back to Pillar. Calling for their end zone play and straight in the middle to Warren White.
Hannah and myself have a game shortly, so we'll be departing. Thanks, Ailsa.
I believe that means I have a game shortly too.
might
Things might get a bit sparse in the commentary box.
Yeah, we'll have a look down
We're gonna have to
below
find some recruits.
and see what we can do for you.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, Ailsa.
So the call is 4 men, 3 women from VLS. Eyesock are changing up their lines a little bit from their regular O&D lines. We've got Davis with the disc. We've also got Ben Johnston, Joel Pillar, Greg Schrader. Girls doing a bit of a swap there for Rosie Foley and Alana Colbert and Mel T. And the pull goes up from Davis. Looks like it could be heading out. Yep, it's going to be a brick. Oh, they're just discussing where it went out, potentially taking sideline.
Game in 10. Game in 10 minutes. We snag the field. Otherwise, we're going to play it. 2:30.
And they've opted to take the brick.
Yeah, otherwise, Hills and us, we're going to have to wait till 5:20.
It's a lovely throw to Finney, cutting under. He's looking back to centre it. Back across the field. Back to the centre. VLS moving it well here. Hudeeb looking long. Centres it instead. Still looking long. Opts to dump it to the centre. Eyesock giving quite a lot of unders here. Johnston with a bid, not quite getting it. Finney with safe hands. Looking for that hammer. Great dump defense by Schrader. The hammer goes up. Oh, and it's brought down. Great movement by VLS there. Uncertain as to whether Eyesock were deliberately giving those unders then or just letting them up. See the replay. Finney with nice safe hands there. Looking for that initial hammer. Great dump defense, can't get that off. Opts for the hammer. Oh, nearly a D, but brought down nicely. That puts it to 10-6 for VLS. Not a lot of time left in this game for them to come back, but definitely doable.
You enjoying your view up there?
Both teams in nice tight huddles here discussing their tactics for the remainder of the game. And it's definitely cooled down a bit over here in Sydney. Had all kinds of weather. Sunshine, lightning last night. And we've got a new addition to the commentary box. I'd like to welcome Hoi Vu.
Hey guys. How you going, Elsa?
You're out for the game, are you, Hoi?
Yeah, I'm just injured just the back of my knee again. It's what happens when you're old and should be playing lawn bowls instead of playing frisbee, and then you just injure your knee again. So that's alright. That's how life goes.
It's bad luck. It was a great contest you and Finney had there. You nearly caught it off his back.
Yeah, that was a good contest. Probably should have caught it, but yeah, I was just a bit too old and slow to be able to catch it, and yeah. But
well, I believe I actually need to head off for a game as well. This has been a all-round change up for the commentary box, but thanks very much, and I'm going to pass over to Yui. Hello, Yui.
Hey everyone, what's going on? Hey everyone, Yui here filling in for Elsa. We've got the score at 10-6 to Eyesock on a really hot contested game. I'm excited to be here.
welcome, Yui. How's your day been?
Yeah, it's been good. Had a bit of a late start. Had to wake up and drive all the way here from the city. But now that I'm here, enjoying the good weather, watching some good frizz. How's your day been, Hoi?
Yeah, it's been good. I thought I thought it'd be a bit more rainy. I thought it might be we might not be able to play the game today, but the weather's held off, which is good, and it's not too warm. This is a bit like Melbourne weather, but it's a lot more warmer. It's probably 10 degrees warmer.
That's always good. I take it you're resting up for your next game?
No, I was saying before that that I injured my knee because I was a bit too old and too slow and couldn't catch it properly. So
bummer.
Yeah. So that's all right.
So we've got Joel on the sideline with the disc, looking upfield. No options. Hammer over the top.
Jay Dowling catches the frisbee, middle of the field, gives it to Joel, passes it to Sando, gives it to Joel again, to Heidi, to Joel, assessing his options, outside in forehand to Rob for the score.
You just can't play defense on throws like that. As soon as you put any sort of edge on it, it's goal. It's a goal.
Yeah, in conditions like this where there's not much of a wind, not much wind, it's pretty easy to throw those throws, and yeah, it makes zones like that tough to deal with.
One thing that Eyesock have been really good at so far in the games that I've watched is using all 7 players in the line to go through, and it makes it really threatening as a defensive line to try and match up against that, because there are no weak points. They like to throw to everyone, everyone likes to catch it. It's a really cool team to watch.
I'm actually not minding the being off the field commentating. I think might be time to retire after this game and just start my career in the commentary box.
It's pretty comfortable up here. I think everyone down there is a little bit cold, it's a bit windy, but we're nice. We've got comfy chairs. My ears are warm because I have to wear big headphones, but it's going well. I agree with you, Hubie. It's good.
So how can a VLS come back from here, Huey?
I think they just need to punt it more. They've got some pretty tall guys. Granted, Eyesock also have some pretty tall guys, but they haven't been stretching the field nearly enough yet. At this point in the game, sometimes you just need to try different things, test it out. You're already a couple of points down, might as well have a crack. And they've got good throwers on the team. They can put it into space, get their fast players and run it down. Question for you, Hui. What would you say has been the biggest change for Eyesock now that one of their main players has been sidelined from a knee injury?
I think it means the other players like Sean and Greg and Sweet As have been standing up and taking a bit more leadership on the field, which it looks like they're doing. I think with me being off the field, it just adds probably a lot more pace to this line.
This is the one you need to hit. There you go. Burns set it up.
Throw.
To
Oh, what a D from Sean. It's going to be caught again. Oh, is that in?
Phenomenal D by Davis. De Silva did a good job to catch up with it. Let's have a look.
From where I was,
I'm going to
like
predict that it's just in,
the
but we'll see. Great D there by Sean. Great follow-up catch, and ooh.
Instant replay. Instant replay is amazing. What a time to be alive.
And it's been called a turn. So interesting there.
Oh, that was an interesting call, I think. Oh, it's up in the air.
Greg, is he good? Oh!
It's an interesting choice. Schrader is a phenomenal receiver, but the throw could have been marginally better. Burns did a good job to get into good position there. Lambert to Finn.
Oh, great hand block there by Sean.
That is a really interesting matchup at this point. You've got two really young, up-and-coming players deucing it out. It's really interesting to see. Sean looks over the top, doesn't want it.
Mel goes up the line, not getting it. Rosie's cuts and gets it, middle of the field. Looks at the dump back to Sean. Passes to Mel. Great grab there by Mel. And gives it to Alex, and Alex gets the score.
That was some nice movement there from Eyesock. They went all the way to one side of the field, dumped and swung the disc laterally and got some open space with a female cutter wide open. All around, good quality frisbee.
This is a tough part of the game where everyone's getting tired. It's where the gut running is coming into the game.
Having a look at the replay again. Right foot was on the ground as he caught it. I'm not sure if you guys back home heard Ruben weighing in on it. He also said that he felt that the foot was on the line as the disc was caught.
shout out to Simo Ryan there, giving compliments to this all Asian commentary team. So how many languages is this been broadcasted in UE, do you know?
How many different languages? Depends if your English is different to my English.
Well, my English was South Australian English, but now it's a bit more Melbourneised.
Yeah. My English is definitely still Malaysian English to some extent. So it looks like we've got a timeout here, and it's really interesting. You guys may not, you can see it now, the different team mentalities. You've got a team like Eyesock who have a bit of a brand behind them, have something worth fighting for, going to quarters, they're really composed and want to get it done, and lots of talking going on. And before this, about 30 seconds ago, VLS were kind of broken up, having a bit of a good time, a bit of banter, and when it was time, Captain Osov called everyone in to have a bit of a chat. It's interesting looking at the different approaches. Some would argue that one's better than the other, but the jury's out on that one, I think. Chloe, do you have any opinions on that?
No, not really. No, I agree. I think the good thing is to see here is that VLS think they still want to win this game, which is good. Even though they're 6-12 down, this is the hardest part, trying to be motivated to still win this game, and they still believe they can, which is great to see. They just got to concentrate 1 point at a time, and you never know how it goes.
I think what you said before was really interesting about this being a point in the game where everyone's a bit tired, mentally and physically exhausted, trying to get through to the end of it, but this could be a turning point. If VLS pull it through and start going on a run here, anything could happen. And it looks like that's what they're ready to do.
Oh, is that it done? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. D-U-N-T-N. Done.
Joel Pillow with the pull.
Let's go, Eyesock.
Eyesock put on their zone there, great catch.
Wee fakes it, doesn't like it, looking back for a handler. That's Sullivan.
Oh, great outside in throw, and good catch there.
You can't play defense on that. Put some shape on it, throw it over the top of the defender. All the receiver has to do is catch it, and maybe fall down on the ground if she wants to. It's a great throw by Sullivan, great spot. See it again. Defender's in a good position here. Oh, Markui fakes it. We see that deep in the zone is in a good position, but given this condition, a bladey throw over the top like that, perfect.
Yeah, that was a good zone, but I'm not too sure if this if zone should be being played in this weather at the moment. I think it's just a bit too still, and I think just a hard, gritty man is probably the way to go.
I was over at the other fields before, and we're seeing different types of zone be really effective. Monstars play a containment zone and doing that against F-Troop and doing really well with keeping the disc near the middle of the field. And that kind of clogs up the space, not many options over the top, and forcing them to make lots of different passes. Whereas the traditional pommy, I guess like what you were saying before, is probably not the best option right now. It's pretty still. Good throwers are going to put it over the top all the time.
So Yuri, congrats on your under-24s Open coach appointment.
Oh, thank you. I'm really excited by it. That's probably the main reason I'm here. I'm not playing with any teams, just here to watch some of the talent, introduce myself to some of the new players who I haven't met yet. I think it's really useful to get familiar with players from all across the country. I've met a bunch of South Australian players. I was down there last week, the week before, and now.
Shout out to Joel Pillar.
Mr. and Mrs. Ashley O'Sullivan, your boy would like to say hi. He's really happy to be here and wants you guys to know that he loves you and wishes he could be back home. Big shout out to you guys there. We've got a good kid. Joel is running up the field, getting every second disc. Looking over the top, doesn't like it.
Turns it back to Sarah. Sarah doesn't want to throw it to Joel, which is fair enough. Gives it to Johnny. And the corner's gone. Look for hammer to Jay. Great
Wide open.
throw. I think that was a bit too easy by Eyesock there. It's quite hard defending Joel when he does those kick goes.
Yeah. He's got a big frame. He knows how to use his length and length to get around any sort of mark, and he's very creative with the disc. Annoying play to mark, but very functional that way.
Yeah, going back with what you were saying, Huey, I think there's some really good talent here, especially the young talent coming through Australian Ultimate.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I think previously through mixed nats where you'd see the top 4 to 6 teams maybe just dominating every other pool game, you get a lot of more closely fought games even on day 1 and day 2. I think the general level has increased and it's nice to see some good mixed teams competing it out here and to see more established clubs continue on their brand.
Right, score is 13-7. I'm predicting Eyesock will come down in man. No, it looks like they're going. Joel pulls it out. He had 37 meters to throw the frisbee into, and he failed.
Sometimes you just want to pull it out. Like 37 meters is a lot of choice. Maybe he didn't like any one of the 37 meters. He picked the 38th meter. Reuven shaking his head, disapproves of the banter. Alright, we got a zone from Eyesock. Cheeky inside.
Pommy being played again.
Over the top.
Is interesting.
Got options.
Just looks a bit too easy by VLS right here, and it's going to be a score. Yeah.
Very nice movement. Very nice movement. A lot can be said for the initial pass when O'Sullivan was on the break mark, opening it up with that early break, as you can see here. And the entire time now, the cup is essentially chasing. Okay, one pass over the top, and the cup never sets. Great play by VLS, great flow.
It's a secret to a good zone offense, not allowing the defense to set, and yeah, that's what they did. Good play by VLS.
13-8. It's a comeback. It's a turning point. We're going to see it. Are we going to see it?
I think VLS have any chance of winning this game, they need to win this point. It's very hard if they lose this point to get the next 7 points to win the game. But 13-9 would be a big difference. Put a bit more pressure on Eyesock to score the next one.
Pull up by Marquis. Fielded by Sando. To Joel. That was a pick call from Bryce to... And now there's a talk on whether he can catch up or not to Johnny Warren.
Johnny Warren with the frisbee here. Looks up, gives it to Heidi. Dumps it back to Joel. Joel's looking upfield. Santa, great break cut there. Nice break throw there by Joel.
That's exactly what I was talking about before, about Joel just being a big player that knows how to use his frame to get around the mark.
Oh,
was an unlucky tip by Fraser. Joel gets it back for multiple swats at the disc. There you go, you see him off again, getting every second pass, contributing to the goal.
Very unlucky there. That was good mark on Joel, who's almost got the D there. And
that was very smart defense by the VLS defender there. He played half of a face mark. You can see here he's close enough to put pressure on the disc, to see what's going on, but also get close enough to defend the throw. He had a good swat at it. Fun fact about Fraser there, he's playing for the mixed under-22s New South Wales team and had to raise a bunch of money to get there. So he put up a Facebook event where he would run a kilometre for every dollar that was donated or something ridiculous like that. And one Friday afternoon had to run a ridiculous amount all the way from Sydney Uni down to Bondi, back to Sydney Uni, something ridiculous like 40 kilometres I think. But an interesting way to raise money. He did it and he was gassed, but it was an interesting fundraising event, I think. Kudos to him for putting his legs on the line to get the funds to play on the 22s.
yeah, it's real impressive.
14-8. Eyesock on defense pulling to VLS. We've got Davis with the disc. Pump fakes it, doesn't like the deep shot. Got options under Finn, Sullivan. Disc is stagnant. VLS needs some movement here. There you go.
Hail Mary hammer, it's going to work out. Nice catch by Finney.
Still called. Still called.
Outside in, and it should be a stall.
There's been a stall call.
So on the throw before, there's a stall count, a stall call, and the disc might be coming back.
Stall. Uncontested. It's going to be a stoppage.
Uncontested stall.
So where
there.
you were when the stall out occurred, there'll be. You just need to touch the disc in once everyone's back in the right spot. Okay. Where you were when the stall occurred, nearest defender can say disc in, then you can carry on.
Thank you, Ruben. For those of you playing at home who are unfamiliar with Ultimate, you have 10 seconds to throw the disc to get rid of it, basically, if there's a person in front of you counting. So in this case, you had the player in white trying to get rid of the disc to an open player, and then you had the black defender, the Eyesock defender, counting to 10. In this scenario, the Eyesock defender got to 10 before the disc was released, and so that was a stall out, which results in a turnover. Got Davis with the disc, about 50 meters up from the end zone. Does a cheeky give go, sees Schrader wide open in the end zone, easy goal.
And that's it. 15-8. Eyesock wins it. Really good game there. Both teams played really hard, and yeah, Eyesock was just too good for today. But yeah, really good battle from both teams there.
Cool. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We're about to check out right now to go down and run around a little bit, or at least Hoy might be. I'm not. Thanks for tuning in again. It's been a pleasure. I'm Yui.
And I'm Hoy.
See you later.
See you later.